Alright, well I'm out here at the Park Avenue and the battery is completely dead on this thing. I got it hooked up to the truck, so it's taking juice now, but it's going to be a while before I think it's got enough to start. So I'll let this thing run. Pretty windy out here, but the door was actually frozen shut on it. So I had to crawl in through the passenger side and kick this one open. And as you can see, we're buried in snow. But it's not too bad in here. I don't think the mice have gotten into it. That's nice. Those of you who don't know the story on this car, my brother gave it to me a couple years ago, and I drove it for quite some time. And then the transmission started acting up in it. Quiet. Transmission started acting up in it, and I quit driving it, parked it. And it sat for, I don't know, 6 months, a year or so. And I decided one day to take it out. It seemed to do okay. Still a little bit of slippage in the transmission, so changed the fluid, and that helped a little bit. Still a little bit of slippage, so I decided, you know, screw it. I'll put in some of that transmission fix crap. I forget what exactly I used, but I put that in there, and that actually seemed to help, you know, a little bit. So I drove it around for about 2 weeks, and everything was fine. I figured, you know, this is a decent car. You know, it's working okay for me. And I let my dad use it, and about 3 days into it, the transmission went out completely in it. And he got it towed back here. And when I got back home from being on the road, I fired it up, and I moved about 100 feet, and the transmission just stopped working. So, as far as I'm concerned, the transmission is junk in this thing, but it runs pretty good. Last time I had it fired up anyway. I would normally take the battery out and just charge that, rather than jump it with the truck or something, but I believe it was this car. The bolt that holds down the battery is actually, you know, it spins in the bottom there where it attaches the battery tray, so I can't really get it out without some effort. So I'm just going to charge it up and see if I can get it to run. So I'll give it, you know, maybe 10 minutes or so, let that truck warm up, let this thing charge up a little bit, close the door so the lights ain't on, and we'll give it a shot and see if it'll start. Well, it's been charging up for about 10 minutes or so. I'm going to film this from the inside because it's so windy out there. I think all you would hear would be wind noise. But let's see if we got enough charge to get this thing going. The thing that sucks with this car is when you turn the key on, the headlights come on and all the computer crap comes on, and it just really drains the battery. So hopefully it won't drain it enough to keep it from starting, but we're going to find out. There we go. Started up pretty good, actually. You can hear the compressor in the back running. You can hear something under the hood whining a little bit. I haven't fired it up in forever. But yeah, it actually did pretty good. It's a good car. I did a bunch of work to this thing before the transmission went out. A lot of suspension work. I think it got new brakes. Can't remember what all else I did to it. New control arms, not new tires, but you know, fairly new tires. So it got a lot before it decided to be a piece of shit and die on me. But I'm not going to try to move it because I got so much snow in front of me. Even if it did move, it wouldn't really go anywhere. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, the funny thing is, I actually paid more for this camera than I have my last 3 daily drivers. The cars I've driven for the last 2.5 years or so. I got this one for free. Obviously I put more money into it, but I got it for free. And then I had the Hyundai there I paid $250 for. And put a little bit of money into that, not a whole lot. I think I got maybe $500 in that Hyundai. And I've driven it, I drove it for over a year. And now I've got the 2001 LeSabre over there. I haven't put any money into that yet. And I'd like to keep it as little money as possible into it, but we'll see. This thing's got, let's see if I can find the mileage, 227,000 miles, so just about as much as that last one. And I mean, it's been sitting for, well, since fall at least. I haven't fired it up, and you saw how quick it fired once the battery had a charge. So I'm gonna let it run and go park that truck before it runs out of gas. Well, I call that proof I haven't run it in since the fall. Valve cover's been leaking this whole time, and now it's just burning off. Got a hell of a line somewhere, but I'm not too concerned with it. Well, let's see if we can make the turn here somewhere and get this truck back over that way. I don't know how this is going to work. Yeah. YouTube, you don't like the radio. I know. Let's see here. I'm debating on which way to go. I'm not sure I can cut that. I'm gonna find out though real quick if I think I can make it. Well, you know what, if it gets stuck or it stays here for a year till spring, not a year, but oh yeah, no problem. As long as I don't lose all my scrap in the back, we're good. Oh, this thing's a beast, man. I can't believe it didn't die, you know, run out of gas. Alright, we're gonna go through this fresh powder here and spin it around so it's facing this way. Makes it easier to jump if I ever have to. If I can make the turn here and not get stuck in snowdrift. Oh, turns on a dime. Almost ran over a car door, but that's alright. This damn thing still stops. It's had antifreeze in the brake reservoir for over probably a year or two. Ran out of brake fluid one day, put antifreeze in there. Works just fine. Alright, let's go back to the Park Avenue. Well, she's still running good. On the walk back, I must have had some mice living in the truck somewhere, because there was a little trail every now and again. You'd see a little chunk of mouse nest the whole the whole way back from when I drove it up here. So, but yeah, she runs smooth. Kind of amazed. Got old gas in it. And it still goes. Let's see what the battery looks like here. Coolant temp, battery state. And we'll let that charge up for a while. I love this little dash. It'll tell me miles per gallon and everything if I drive. Pretty cool. And I can go to metric too. For all you Canadians there, 366,734 kilometers. Whatever that means. Cool. Well, I think I'll let her run and then just close the hood and shut her off. I'm not going to try to go anywhere. Blower works in this one at least. Shut that off, noisy bugger.